Yo, what's up, team? Welcome back to J3 Entertainment. You guys know what time it is.
Yo, it's terror review time. Yes, it is. Woo! That laugh.
We're back.
Yes, we are.
What if Michael would laugh like that?
Oh, I would have walked out the room. What? He's
Your ass
speaking
is
now?
grass.
Oh, man.
But anyway.
That's a whole nother mythology right there. He talking now? What?
We're here for the Halloween Ends movie review.
Yes.
Now, this is a spoiler review, guys. So if you haven't seen it on Peacock or in the theaters, feel free to go ahead and press that subscribe button, thumbs up this video, and come back and watch our review.
There you go.
All right?
This is going to be interesting.
Now, since this is a spoiler review, let me explain how we like to review spoilers on J3 Entertainment. First thing first, we talk about our experience. Then give you guys that good and bad. We break that down by telling you how we feel overall of the film. Give you guys that favorite scene, and then give you guys a grade.
That sounds great to me.
So, Ronan, you ready to get into the spoiler review?
Yes,
I'm ready.
I'm ready. I'm ready, sucker.
I'm ready too.
Yeah.
So let's talk about the experience. Can I kick it off?
Go ahead, man.
Let me talk about my experience. I saw this movie early because I didn't want to be in the wrong crowd to be there with me.
Okay.
The naysayers.
Yeah.
The haters or the overlovers. I watched it by myself. It was about 2-3 people in the theater.
Nice.
And I'll tell you, I had a great experience. It was quiet. I got to get the full suspenseful moments without a bunch of unnecessary feelings.
Yeah.
Big screen kind of to myself.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Like home.
Exactly.
Almost, yeah.
It was really like being at home. But I had to watch it in theaters because this is Jamie Lee Curtis' last time playing Laurie. So I had to watch that in theaters. I had to feel like I was there in 1978.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? So
That
I had to watch it. I had to watch it in theaters.
Obligated. I feel that.
I had a very interesting experience, and I had a fun time watching it in theaters.
All right.
What about you?
I'm going to say my little quick experience. You know, it was cool, man, just revisiting all the movies in the theater back to back. Originally, though, it gave me a different outlook on this Blumhouse universe that we got, man. Mm-hmm. So it was exciting to kind of revisit them, you know, because I had seen them originally when they came out. So it was fun to just get that back-to-back build-up all the way to ends. And it just gave me a different outlook on the series, man.
For sure. All right. With that said, let's go ahead and get into the good.
Oh, yeah.
Go ahead, G.
Oh, okay, all right. I thought you.
Nah, go ahead. Do your thing. Do your thing.
All right. All right. So the good for me, man. Hey, I just like the new approach to the story, man. Going back to the mystery aspects, I really like that, man, because I really didn't know what to expect. The way it started threw me for a loop, and I just thought it was a new change of pace, man. Like where we were just going back to the mystery aspects of it and learning Haddonfield and learning these new people that are in the town. I thought the setup in this final chapter was pretty interesting.
Okay.
Yeah.
For me, one of the goods always is Jamie Lee Curtis coming in as Laurie. I enjoy seeing every bit of her. I enjoy seeing the fear in her, and I enjoy seeing the relaxed Laurie.
Okay, yeah.
I love that approach. It was a new approach. It was a new style of her. It was like, okay, she could, you know, she's like a ticking bomb to a degree. Because when you see her calm and relaxed, it was like, okay, but what's going to, you know, make her pop? Make her come back snap back into that Laurie.
Right.
We're survivor mode Laurie. So I love seeing the different transitions of Laurie throughout this movie. We saw a caring grandmother in the beginning. Then we saw more of a relaxed caring grandmom, you know, a baking grandmom, but actually a more what's old girl name off of Misery?
Annie Wilkes.
But the actress.
Kathy Bates.
We saw a mild Kathy Bates. You know, Laurie. You know what I mean? She'll still curse. She's still mom, but you know she do her thizzle.
Right.
You know what I mean? And then we saw her snap into Laurie mode.
Yeah.
We got to get Michael. I love the transitions of that character in this movie.
Okay.
Got any more good?
I'm gonna say this movie really shows David Gordon Green's directing style, man. He really put his full force into this movie just as a storyteller. The way how he captured the atmosphere old school, I thought was really tight, man. He was really trying to channel John Carpenter in this final chapter in a lot of ways. Like very subtle, not so much the boogeyman, but just like the scenery, like making Haddonfield spooky again. You know what I mean? Even like the way they changed the colors and stuff was pretty dope, man.
Word.
I think he opened the door for other elements and didn't do the same formula. He went a different direction that I thought was unique.
Yeah.
Yeah, the third one, he went leaps and bounds, man.
Yeah, he did his own thing, man. it's a love hate with this. Like, I like the transition of bullies.
Yeah.
You know, like they changed usually you have a traditional bully style. It's like the captain of the football team.
Right.
The bullies were like band members.
Yeah.
It's like, what you gonna do? It's like the nerds, Revenge of the Nerds to the full extent, right? So I like that style. A lot of people we were trying to figure out the story. So we're like, yo, what's gonna happen? And then we end up getting a new character in, Corey, and I like certain elements of Corey dealing with Michael in this movie.
Yeah.
And I'll talk about it in my scenes, but I like certain elements of it because I was like, yo, that's kind of cool. That's kind of how I was pinpointing where we're going to move forward with the story.
Yeah.
So I do like, I guess to say it, I like the story. But then there's a love-hate relationship with that story because I'll talk about that in my bad. But I like what the idea of the story in this movie.
Okay. I will say we got to see Laurie kind of be a teenager again.
Yeah,
if that makes
right.
sense. Yeah. And this kind of goes back to the 1978 original, and you got to see her being like that kid again that was like enjoying life and learning how to settle down and like keep her guard down. And I thought it was very cool that they reminisced and showed that, but she was still kind of writing her memoirs, writing her books. She started telling her stories and stuff and giving us the journalistic, walking the audience through the entire experience of the entire universe in this new timeline. I thought that was a very unique thing that she kept memoirs and journals on what she had went through.
Yeah.
Because that was something that was kind of keeping her calm and at ease. It helped her. It was therapeutic for her. So I like the whole idea of her re-walking us through what happened and what was happening previously in this time now. I thought that was cool.
And this is my last like, because we got to get on the bad, but it's Michael. I like the fact that this movie reminded us who Michael really is. He's the boogeyman. He is the shape.
Yeah.
So that speaks volume. Did I want more Michael? Absolutely. I feel like we earned that.
Yeah.
But I like the fact we got very minimal Michael. And when he did come, it did count for the most part. But then there's a love-hate with that.
Yeah.
So that's what I got with mine. You ready to get on the bad?
Let's get it.
Let's get on the bad. Ronan, I got to hear what your bad is. What's your bad, bro? Was it long enough? No, I'm just messaging you.
You know what? It's to some degree, yeah. So, with the thing with this, when you bring change into a final chapter and you bring in a new character like that, you need that extra extended time.
Yeah.
I love what we got with it, but the problem is it wasn't set up for that. He showed up, and it wasn't like the new character came as a cliffhanger from the last movie. I felt like we should have gotten like an extra hour with him, and then the same thing with the finale. I felt like that was cut short too, even though with what we got was cool and it was satisfying, but I was still like looking for a little more because I felt like that there was two storylines going on and they kind of collided towards the end, and then it just ended. And I was like, nah, wait a minute, give us one or the other, because it was still satisfying. But when we get into the scenes, I'll talk more about that. But I just felt like we were cut short in that third act. Okay. That's where my negative is. That's the only thing.
For me, a bad has to do with, and it's that love-hate, the story. The story was very unique and different, and I got where we were going, and I was excited for it. But the execution, to me personally, did not fall through. When you look at a character like Corey, you know, they had this visual bond, something we've never seen with Michael. Michael looked in his eyes, he saw something, and you saw him go through the past, dealing with the incident that occurred. And it was like, okay, I get you. You're a good guy per se, but you're really dark in reality. Right. And Michael let him live. And I was like, we're going somewhere with this.
Yeah.
And then they kind of like threw it out the window. And I felt cheated. You know, I was like, okay, is Michael transferring his essence, the evil, the darkness, the boogeyman, the shape into another host because Michael is done? Like, face the facts, ladies and gentlemen, the man is an old man, and there's so much he can do because they have acknowledged to us that he's just a man, and that's what killed the movie for me. That's what this movie should have been called, Halloween Kills, because it killed everything for me. When Laurie acknowledged the fact that Michael is just a man, I was done.
Okay. Oh, okay.
It killed it. That's the bad for the movie. The story showed that this man was transferring. He was more than just a man. Mm-hmm. He was the shape. Right. He was the boogeyman. There's elements to this. Guy can pop up out of thin air.
Yeah.
You do all these things, and then you say he's just a man. I'm out.
Okay.
Yep. You messed the story up for me. I thought it was gonna be something mythical.
Right.
You know what I mean? Something mysterious. He looked in his eyes and he was like, oh, okay, and now we have a bond. You know, he choking him, but he let him live. Like
copycat or like team playing work or something. Like,
yeah.
Because it seemed like that they were going to link up. And this is also when we're going to get into the scenes, though. But it raised interesting questions, and I like that's what this last movie, Halloween Ends, raised questions for those that were coming in, that were new, and for those that are familiar. And then it also raised questions for, is this really the end?
Yeah.
And this is where kind of really goes into my likes, but it's also a negative because I felt like what you said, we got less of it. But also I know that there could be more because at the end of the day, Haddonfield was always the main character. We were just following Michael. So naturally he would be the main character too. But the town was already messed up.
Oh, don't get me started on them.
So in that regards, I like the questions that the new questions that they kind of created for fans, because it's like it's still unanswered, but it was never going to be resolved.
Yeah.
Just like even in the original, like there were still questions even then, 44 years ago. So I like that they kind of played those same rules into this, where it's like we're still asking those same questions, but we got a new character coming in we know very little about. But that goes into the mystery aspect. So if you like that, that's great. But if you like that person that likes answers, then you're definitely going to be disappointed. And it's fair on all ends, to be fair.
I'm gonna leave it. Just want to say my last bad, and then we're gonna get into the film itself. But
okay.
For me, Haddonfield is always a bad, and the reason why is because they're naive, including Laurie's granddaughter. What's her name?
Allison.
Yep. Oh God.
Yep.
You endured and embraced and understood of the lifestyle of the shape, the boogeyman, Michael Myers, and you guys still live a negative life where you are oblivious to what the freak is really going on. I can't get enough of the idea that the shape was living in a sewer for 4 years and no one knew where he was at. I'm good. Like, that's what makes it stupid to me, because I'm okay with the idea of the boogeyman, but when you make him just a man and the town is not finding, I guess, feces, urine, they have his DNA.
Yeah.
You're not tracking them down. You're not using infrared. We're in 2019, ladies and gentlemen. This is not 1978. So you have all this high technology and the town is still being naive. You're still allowing people to walk in your house and kill you. Corey walked in on that doctor's home who was laced with technology.
Yeah.
And he just started killing him sloppy. And it was like, are you serious?
Yeah.
How did he get in there? He wasn't technical.
Nah.
He had no hacking skills. He just walks in the house. Now, if you tell me that you're more than a man and you're the shape, then I'll believe it.
Right. You see, we didn't know that.
But then
don't know that.
But Laurie made him the boogeyman a man.
Right.
Yeah, he should be dead. Like, it just, that's what killed it. The story, I think the idea was great. It just executed poorly because it makes no sense at the end of the day. I'm okay with going in a fantasy movie and saying, okay, he's the boogeyman. He does what the hell the boogeyman wants to do. If he wants to kill you, going to pop up. If he sees you flying an airplane, he just pops up in an airplane. I'm okay with that. I'm okay with that fantasy level. But when you make him a man and you make Corey a man, Corey stabbed himself in the throat.
Yeah.
If no, I can't have her, no one can. Okay. He's dead.
Right.
Why? Everyone said you were not the same boy.
Yeah.
I looked in his eye and all I saw was pure evil. He's not the same. That's not Corey, the Corey I know. Okay, he's turned to the shape then. Kind of like on some Jason Goes to Hell when he was eating the stuff and he was turning to Jason.
Right.
I'm with it. They destroyed the whole story by execution. It was like, I'm done. I understand, but I don't care anymore. Okay. That's my negative. The town, the granddaughter, how they executed it, poor. Disgusting. All right, that's my.
We doing scenes or
no? We about to get. Do you have no more bad?
Nah.
For sure.
Yeah. Let's
get on the film as an overall. I'm gonna start on this one.
Handle.
Even though I was disgusted by how the story turned out, I will say David Gordon Green still did a great job directing. he still gave us a Michael Myers feel, even when Michael Myers showed up, except for when Corey was jumping him.
Yeah.
But see, at that point, I was like,
that was a little kind of far fetched.
But it was more of I don't know if you guys watch My Hero Academia, but when All Might gave his powers to a young Midoriya, All Might wasn't strong anymore.
Right.
So I can see him passing the torch. That's what I thought we were doing.
Right.
Granted, he's undersized, but
he did have that original look that Nick Castle had, and I think that was kind of the representation.
He had the jumpsuit. I saw he popped up.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I got all that. But you made him a man.
Right.
So, but David did a great job of still giving you the boogeyman essence. When Michael showed up, Michael still stole the scene. He was never lesser than he usually is. But I do understand that Michael is older, and they showed us he's just a man. Laurie could get him now. You know what I mean? So David did a great job directing overall. I felt the scenes. The gore was there for sure.
Yeah.
Over exaggerated in that record store. He was talking a lot of smack and then got bodied. I think he could have took him. Though. That should have been more of a fight. Now Michael doing that, the boogeyman.
I think he deserved though what he got. Yeah.
No. But Michael doing that is different.
Yeah, of course.
Because at this time he was the shape. He was the boogeyman.
Mm-hmm.
There's nothing could stop him. But when you make him just a man, that man could fight that man.
Oh yeah, when evil leaves, yeah. So it's free game.
It's all over the place. Are you the boogeyman or are you just a serial killer?
Right.
You know what I mean? Like he stabbed him back in the neck and he had no fighting chance. It's different. But he had a fighting chance and they took it away.
Yeah, and that's the thing that they were trying to have. You know, they had the trouble of balancing.
Yeah, it wasn't.
And that's
balanced.
why I said in the third act it kind of.
But as an overall film, directing I thought was on spot.
Okay, yeah. You know, I think this is the strongest for Gordon Green as far as like his style. Like he really puts all his skill into this one. Like he comes into his own as a director and stuff. Because the other ones kind of felt like experiments and stuff. Because those are like technically two movies like together. They're one movie, Kills and the other one, and that's why I didn't have a problem with Michael being that much in this movie because Kills, he was all throughout that movie and even when he was there.
Don't tease me.
If you really count the time he was there, he was like literally in Kills for like 15 minutes. Just he escaped the firehouse and he popped up here and there and Laurie's hospitalized the whole time, so she's on the side.
Yeah.
So we had him for a whole movie, and then the 2018 film was the legacy story. Now they're like, all right, let's go back to the atmosphere, and let's go back to the town, let's go back to the mystery. And the same thing was like that with the original. Like he did that same thing, and I thought that was cool, man. Like he basically said, let's go back to the atmosphere of Haddonfield, man, the spook town that everybody is like, whatever, they don't pay attention and stuff. You know what I'm saying? So it's really like a Twilight Zone town. And what he did was, with Corey coming in, introducing us to that, he opened the door for anything can happen in Haddonfield and that evil can be manifested in all shapes and forms. Yeah. That's kind of what I got from it. The way that it happened, because the setup was so genius. We thought Michael was in the house. Yeah. Yeah. Exactly. So it's like, well, anything can happen in this town. And another thing that I liked was that he raised the question of, did the town create a monster or was Corey really evil all along? I like that. Because there really wasn't a definitive answer. But it was great questions, though.
But then at the end of the day, you sit there and think to yourself, because you go back to 1978, what created Michael?
Right. Still don't know.
So it's like, man.
It's give or take.
This kid got to go. This could have been resolved. Like, it's just, when she said you're just a man and she didn't acknowledge that you're pure evil, you are darkness. You are the evil essence, and I must take you out. When she said you're just a man, killed everything for me. I'm sorry, y'all. That really just messed the movie for me. But I will say...
That's how you say it. No, I get it. I get you.
I will say this, though. As far as suspense was there, but it was very mild. And it could have been better. For a movie like this, dealing with a John Carpenter score, with the David Gordon Green directing, I think the actor that played Corey was... I didn't have a problem with him, but his suspense level wasn't there. Okay. Maybe it's because the way he looked. It was like, who is this nerd? Get him out my face, bro. Because it gets to that point. Aren't those the best characters? Because they look like they're not capable?
Yeah, but... they blend in?
But suspensefulness is not there.
I feel.
It wasn't suspense. Because he was sloppy.
He wasn't skilled or strategic. No, I'll give you that.
I'm going to be honest with you.
Yeah. And it just happened. Like, stuff was... Yeah.
Hear me out. But when I saw him, especially when he was talking to Michael Myers, first thing I thought of, hear me out, was Batman Forever, when the Riddler asked Two-Face, how to punch a man.
Okay.
Come on, show me how to do it. Come on. Yeah. Well, you look back, you snap your arm back, and you lay him out.
And assert yourself.
And then, he's like, okay, I'm trying. Ah! That hurt.
Yeah.
Ow. No, that's exactly what I saw.
Okay.
Sum it up, a joke.
All right.
I didn't see a killer, bro. I
Yeah.
thought Allison would have been better.
I'm on the other side of that, but I get that. I get all that. It's really no right or wrong here, and like we all got different things from it, man. It's just it was a return to form for me, and I like the scenes that we got though, man, because it reminded me, for me personally, a lot of the original film. And people forget though, and that was always the template because this new trilogy is tied to that. And I think David Gordon Green was trying to bring it back home by redoing that again to an extent, but bringing in a new character, which was bold. But I felt like we should have got more of him if we were going to do that. The scenes really kind of played out more of like a thriller drama. It didn't really become horror to the end, and this is why I said earlier that like it felt like two different films. But I was fine with that. I was just glad that we did not recycle and rehash the last two movies all over again.
I got you.
Yeah, because that would have been a big problem for me. I know everybody's here for the slasher and stuff. I'm like, we got 2 full movies of that. Like, no one has took a swing like this since Season of the Witch, which was back in the 80s. No one took a swing and said, let's try something different again. Because that was always Carpenter's original plan.
Yeah. I feel you on that. Well, let's go ahead and get into our favorite scene or non-favorite scene.
Okay.
Which one you got?
I'm going to say my favorite scene was the whole idea of Corey being in the suit and manifesting, and we weren't too sure. When he goes and attacks the doctor and the nurse at the house, I thought that was a really great scene because I felt like that was the turning point of, is he just going to embrace this monster that the town created, or did Michael really push his essence of evil into him? I thought it was a really great scene because it was still unknown and unfamiliar. It was just in the way it was shot and how the way he killed the lady and stuff. I thought that was cool. It was still like unanswered questions, but I thought it was a great scene because wasn't really sure what was happening. Because like, is this the transformation? Was this the moment?
Yeah. For me, I'm gonna be honest with you. The best scenes for me was the very beginning of the movie and the very end of the movie. So I'm going to sum that up real quick. When Corey hit that little boy and he flipped off that I guess you call it, what is the balcony or what is it, he flipped off the
stairwell.
The stairwell.
Yeah. It
Man,
was like the 4th floor. That was a big house.
That had me. I hit the edge of my seat. I was like, oh, we finna get a movie on this one. And then the very end, when they put Michael in that grinder, I was like, there's no way he can come back now.
Okay. I'll say my other scene was when Laurie was talking to Corey in the house when he woke up from his nap. And it had that whole scene about what the whole evil was. And I thought it was a really great breakdown because she was speaking the same way Dr. Loomis spoke to her 44 years ago. So it was a very good foreshadowing. And the other scene I liked was when the band members got killed at the body shop at nighttime. It was a great nod to Christine, which was also a Carpenter movie.
Christine, man.
Very great scene. Very well shot. Very well lit. And then I thought the kills in that scene were pretty tight. With the fire thing. Yeah. Burning them.
And also Christine, put him in that damn grinder.
Yeah.
Put that car in
Yep, same thing. Same thing.
Car in there.
So it was a lot of John Carpenter's celebration in this movie. And then the scene where Allison and Corey are on the motorcycle together and they're driving through the city and stuff, very Lost Boys with the red lighting in the background.
And then they played the thing.
Yeah.
So yeah, it had a lot of John Carpenter in this one. So let's give it a grade.
All right, bro. So I think this one brings it home, and I thought it was a very interesting takes it into a new direction and gives us something that we were not familiar with, but it also kind of sets up bigger things for future films. I'm going to give it 4 stars, man. It's not perfect, but I think it took some swings, some bold swings, and I appreciate that because it took me by storm and I wasn't ready for it. And I still think that it brought it home. It was a cool conclusion.
For me, man, I went in hype, ready to go. To see Halloween ends. Most definitely, I had a great time. I wasn't sleepy or bored or anything like that. It's very interesting. I just feel that once they made Michael a man, it took away. My logic kicked in. Once my logic kicks in, ain't no coming back from that. So, with that being said, I give this a 2.5 stars out of 5.
Oh, okay. All right.
Yeah, once that kicked in, it was a wrap, bro.
That's fair.
But I hope you guys enjoyed the review. If you're new to the channel, go ahead and press that subscribe button. Thumbs up this video. Don't forget to share Instagram, Facebook, Twitter. Also, follow us on Instagram and Twitter. I'm J3.
On the Shogun.
Woo!
And just sass.
100,000 subscribers, guys.